99 Canadians on board, all who are fit to fly, will be coming home today. They were stuck on the Coral with no place to dock amid a coronavirus outbreak on board before they were allowed to stop in Miami Saturday morning. Here at home, Prime Minister Justin Trudeau is giving details on the emergency relief benefit in place for anyone who's lost their job amidst the COVID-19 pandemic.
Starting tomorrow, you'll be able to sign up to receive this support by going to canada.ca. If you choose to direct deposit, you will get a first payment within 5 days.
Trudeau says those who choose mail will be able to see their first payment in 10 days. The benefit leaves Canadians eligible for up to $2,000 a month. And with the number of cases in the country mounting, the government's also looking for help, building a team of volunteers to help Health Canada when it comes to tracking cases, tracing content, and collecting data on COVID-19. I'm Stuart McGinn.
680 News Time 105. South of the border, the Surgeon General is calling the upcoming week a Pearl Harbor moment, describing it as one of the hardest and saddest for American lives. 680's Meg Black has the latest. She joins us live. Meg.
Caitlin, the U.S. now accounts for more than a quarter of the world's cases of COVID-19. And while we've largely been zeroed in on New York, as they have over 122,000 cases, no state has been spared from the virus. And other hotspots are beginning to emerge, and they reveal a very troubling trend of outbreaks in rural Middle America, not just coastal urban cities. Michigan has over 14,000 cases. Illinois surpassed the 10,000 mark. And Louisiana's case count has topped 12,000. Experts say this is not uncommon, as viruses tend to trickle into rural communities after hitting large urban cities. And with scarce medical equipment such as ventilators in the U.S., focus is reshifting to these bubbling hotspots that will need more supplies in the coming weeks. Reporting live, I'm Meg Black.
680 News Time 106. The military in our country advising people in the Toronto area to expect a large number of its personnel and vehicles on the roads tomorrow. The Department of National Defense says members of the Joint Task Force Central will be heading from units across Ontario to Canadian Forces Base Borden. The movement is part of the government's fight against COVID-19, and hundreds of Canadian Armed Forces members will be involved. The department says the aim is to form a task force at Base Borden. The troops will then be ready to respond to any requests from the government to help deal with COVID-19.
680 News Time 107. With warm weather once again gracing the city this weekend, the mayor reminding residents to stay inside. Tory took to Twitter today to ask Torontonians to continue to avoid large gatherings and maintain physical distancing.
We're going to break the back of this virus if we do this, if we stop gathering in crowds, if we keep our distance from one another. And I hope that's exactly what we can do. So stay home if you can.
Tory says staying home rather than going out is the best way to slow down the spread of COVID-19. The city's enforcement team will be again today looking for
COVID-19 enforcement team. This is a real thing.
In 1940, Princess Elizabeth gave her first ever broadcast from Windsor Castle, and now 80 years later, she plans on doing it again. In what will be her fifth address ever to the nation, the Queen will address COVID-19 concerns in a special broadcast to the Commonwealth later this afternoon. It comes as the number of cases in the United Kingdom continue to rise. She's expected to thank healthcare workers and share her sympathies with families affected by the pandemic.
With almost hourly developments on the COVID-19 pandemic, more Canadians are tuning into the news now than a few weeks ago, according to
really?
Google has more.
61% of Canadians say they're following the news more often, according to the research code.
The news is tuning
President
in.
Mario Fonseca says it's a number usually seen during elections. When it comes to having kids at home all day, 51% of Canadians with children aged 14 or younger say it's been easy.
44% who say that this has been hard. So, it's a majority that says I can handle this, but it's also a very sizable proportion, more than 2 out of 5 parents who say that this has been very difficult for them at this stage.
As for what we're missing during this time of physical distancing, family, friends, and travel top the list. I'm Monica Gould.
Canada's chief public health officer wants us to keep our distance from each other physically, but says that doesn't mean you can't reach out to your friends and family and coworkers in other ways.
With so many Canadians practicing strict physical distancing, I'm heartened to hear the many stories about how people are staying connected.
But it's not a distance, it's a space.
All ages, Physical distancing can put a strain on our mental health with feelings of isolation and loneliness.
Dr. Theresa Tam says it's important to remember that we are all joined as Canadians in a vital collective effort to preserve health and save lives across our country. That news
not communist, it's collective.
Toronto area Ford dealers. Coming up, we'll check the price of gas.
680 News Time 109.
Our world has changed. We're in this
Yes,
together.
Canada is a
680
collection.
News.
It's a collection
Ford
of
is built to
people.
lend a hand when our communities need it most. That's why we're introducing 6 months of payment relief. We'll defer
All the reservists have been offered full-time work.
for peace of mind up to 6 months on most vehicles for qualified buyers. Because the one thing
Which means they literally just mobilized the entire army. The entire army
to get
together.
Learn more about your options at Ford.ca. Ford, built to lend a hand.
Time now for the 680 News gas price update. Enpro predicts the price of gas will stay right where it is at midnight, holding at 78.9 cents a liter. Coming up in 60 seconds, traffic and weather together on the one. 680 News Time 110.
The TTC bus loop of Eglinton West Station is closing for 5 months starting in late March for Eglinton Crosstown construction. The subway
Everything you
station
do closes for 5 months randomly.
TTC.ca for transit changes and the Crosstown.ca for project updates. Thank you for your patience. Hi, I'm Tom Rokicki of Inline Fiberglass Windows. You're probably already aware of the benefits in selecting our fiberglass windows: beauty, performance, and durability. But did you know that our fiberglass windows were carefully selected by building professionals for the Greenpeace National Headquarters, Canada's Greenest Home, and CMHC's Healthy House? It's no coincidence that vinyl, wood, or aluminum windows were not selected for these projects. Visit us at our Factory Direct showroom or at inlinefiberglass.com. The TTC bus loop of Eglinton West Station is closing for 5 months starting in late March for Eglinton Crosstown construction. The subway station remains open. Visit ttc.ca for transit changes and the crosstown.ca for project updates. Thank you for your patience.
680 News Time 111.
Time for traffic and weather together on the one. Here's Christine Langos.
This report is brought to
The
you by
report's
St.
supposed to be
Louis
speaking
Bar and
within
Grill
the
on
hour,
South
the last
404
hour.
Stillwell
So I don't
Road. We
know.
have
I
some
don't think
moving
that happened
maintenance
yet.
crews taking up the 2 left lanes, but it looks like they're ready to leave the area. So all lanes once again reopen on the southbound 404 at Stillville Road and the Don Valley Parkway. That looks great from top to bottom. I'm just having a look at it right now on the cameras, and everything is up to speed. On the Lakeshore West
They want
at
you to
Woodbine,
know they're
we have a
watching.
collision, according to traffic spotters. Emergency crews are on scene. Westbound Gardner still in good shape. Westbound QEW approaching third line. Watch out for some glass debris that had been strewn across the center lane. On the northbound 427 at the 401, we still have MTO crews here working on the shoulder. Southbound Avenue Road at Carmichael, which is south of Wilson, still blocked because of a broken water main. Wellesley between Queens Park and Bay closed due to crane hoisting until tomorrow morning. St. Louis Bar and Grill thanks you for supporting local businesses, including your local St. Louis restaurant, through takeout and delivery. Their deepest gratitude goes to the first responders, keeping us all safe. Your next report is at 121. Now with the forecast, here's meteorologist Jason Fraser.
Well, right now, Christine, we're seeing some winds out of the north-northwest that are gusting up to about 33 kilometers per hour, and it's making the temperature feel a little bit cooler, even though we do have some sunshine that is trying to make its way right around all of those clouds. Now, later on tonight, we will see clearing skies and temperatures dipping down to around the freezing mark. And then tomorrow, we'll continue to see above normal temperatures, topping out right around 13 degrees, along with some sunny skies. Right now in downtown Toronto, it is 9 degrees. The guaranteed high is 12 degrees.
680 News Time 113.
British Columbia actor Logan Williams, who appeared in CW's The Flash as the young Barry Allen, has died at the age of 16. Williams' agent says he died Thursday. She did not give the cause, but said his sudden death came as a shock. The Flash star Grant Gustin posted a photo of him with Williams and actor Jesse L. Martin on Instagram that was taken during the filming of a series pilot in 2014. Gustin called the news of Williams' death devastating before speaking highly about his talent and professionalism. You're listening to 680 News.
Dear Real Canadian Superstore, No Frills customers, flyers are now digital only. Please know that low price commitment is still the #1 priority, and they're still providing great weekly promotions and offers. Find them in store on superstore.ca, nofrills.ca, and in the PC Optimum app.
The Government of Canada and public health experts are taking action to protect Canadians from COVID-19. Protect yourself and others, especially those with medical conditions and older adults. Wash your hands often. Avoid touching your face. cough or sneeze into your arm, and disinfect surfaces. You should also avoid crowded places. Avoid all non-essential travel. And if you're sick, stay home. To learn more, call 1-833-784-4397. A message from the Government of Canada.
Dear Real Canadian Superstore, no frills customers. Flyers are now digital only. Please know that low price commitment is still the #1 priority, and they're still providing great weekly promotions and offers. Find them in store on superstore.ca, nofrills.ca, and in the PC Optimum app.
This is All News Radio, 680 News.
8 degrees, partly cloudy. The sun just disappeared for a moment. Good afternoon from the 680 News Broadcast Center in downtown Toronto. I'm Cam Doritz.
And I'm Caitlin Lee. Here are the top stories this hour.
More than 24 nurses and doctors in our city now make up more than the 4,000 cases of COVID-19 in the province. The Toronto responsible for more than half of the deaths. We have reached the 100 mark, 119 deaths now. 680's Michelle Mackey will have the details. Coming home, a handful of Canadians, those fit to fly at least, will be returning from a nightmare cruise. They've been stuck on it for weeks. Meanwhile, Trudeau also speaking today, trying to rally the country together. 680's Stuart McGinn will have more. And coming up after sports, Israel is putting the full force of its defense ministry behind producing locally made ventilators. 680 News Time, 1:15. And time now for 680 Sports from Sportsnet 590 The Fan. Here's Brent Gunning.
Yesterday, U.S. President Donald Trump spoke with Major Leagues commissioners. Trump said he thinks the NFL season should start up on time. The first league to stop play in North America was the NBA. And NBA Commissioner Adam Silver said on that call that he wants the league to be a part of things getting back to normal, but would not do so until medical health professionals believe that pro sports should return. There's plenty of basketball news. This weekend, the league has floated the idea of a horse-style competition where players would shoot in isolation inside of their home gyms while connected with other players on some form of video conference, allowing the players to compete virtually. There are still plenty of details to be worked out, like when the competition would take place and which players would be involved. On top of that, 9 different people inducted into the Basketball Hall of Fame. The group is being highlighted by Kobe Bryant, who passed away in a helicopter crash earlier this year. Sports at 15 and 45 past every hour or anytime at sportsnet.ca/590.
680 News Time, 1:16.
Of course, you always want to be there for your parents and grandparents. But when you can't be right there with them, Direct Alert by TELUS Health can be. This personal emergency response service gives your loved ones access to 24/7 support at the push of a button. And knowing they're taken care of takes some of the worry away. Direct Alert by TELUS Health is simple to install yourself, ships directly to you, and starts at $25 a month. Right now, you can save up to $180 a year on select plans. Visit directalert.ca for details.
Hi, I'm Adam, founder of newborrow.com, and I started our company after I got fed up with the mortgage loan process. Turns out I wasn't alone. Thousands of homeowners wanted help.
They went above and beyond to help me get a line of credit. It was amazing service.
They treated me like a valued client and outperformed anyone I spoke to. Want to lower your mortgage payments and save a little money?
Use your home to get a loan with Newborrow. Visit newborrow.com. License 13115.
680 News Time, 1:17.
After many calls from children across the country, Canada's Chief Public Health Officer, Dr. Theresa Tam, and Prime Minister Trudeau took questions from kids about COVID-19, airing this morning on CBC.
My name is Cortana. I am 10 years old. I live in Ontario, but right now I'm with my mom in BC. I have a question. What can we do to support the healthcare workers other than going out at 7 every day and cheering them on?
I would not do
Of
that.
the
That's
health
stupid.
professionals who are working really, really hard, are heroes, and I'm sure they really appreciate anything that would cheer them on as they're doing their difficult work. And absolutely keeping ourselves healthy, practicing the physical distancings of 2 meters.
Trudeau echoed Dr. Tam's statements and stressed the importance of staying home to social distance. Israel is using its defense ministry to help make ventilators.
From building advanced missiles, interceptors, and satellites, the Israel aerospace industry is shifting gears, joining the war to defeat COVID-19. The Israeli Defense Ministry's most prized division, lending its engineers and large-scale production lines
to now build life-saving ventilators. The aerospace industry teaming up with Innovitech, a company that already sells turbine-powered lightweight ventilators. Their goal is to produce hundreds of an upgraded model called the Ventway Sparrow. Jordana Miller,
That's what I
ABC
mean. They're gonna
News,
go
Jerusalem.
overboard with it. They're gonna
News on
like a
119.
fighter jet assembly line. They'll be fucking
Spain, the
ventilators.
country with the second most infections behind the U.S.
As its outbreak loses steam, Spain's government has started to cautiously consider when it can start to reactivate an economy that's been shut down and put hundreds of thousands of people out of work. Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez says we could just start to see the light at the end of the tunnel. But to get there, Sanchez announced he would have to ask Parliament to extend the state of emergency by 2 more weeks, taking the lockdown on mobility until April 26. For most people, the new coronavirus causes mild or moderate symptoms, but for some, it can cause severe illness and death. I'm Charles de Ledesma.
Coming up in 60 seconds, we'll have your traffic, there's not much of it, and the weather together on the ones.
680 News Time 120.
The Princess Margaret
They still haven't had these
Home Lottery
motherfuckers
is now
talking.
70% sold. Don't miss the incredible $6.8 million grand prize, a contemporary $1.6 million Upper Beaches grand prize, and a stunning country home in Prince Edward County. Homes, cottages, condos, cars, and more. It's one big prize after another. Now 70% sold. Don't miss out. Buy your tickets now at PrincessMargaretLotto.com.
Are you looking for a ministry-inspected online high school where you can earn credits or upgrade your marks? Learn from home with the Ontario Virtual School. The Ontario Virtual School allows you to earn OSSD credits while you learn from home, so you can get your high school diploma. Now is a good time to sign up. Set your own schedule and get 24-hour access to our certified teachers. Some courses can be completed in as little as 4 weeks. Learn more at OntarioVirtualSchool.ca.
680 News Time 121.
Time for traffic and weather together on the ones. Here's Christine Lycos.
This report is brought to you by MyMuskokaCottages.com. Well, not much doing on the major routes around the GTA. We did have some debris westbound QEW approaching 3rd line. That was in the center lane, but I'm not spotting any problems in this area. Looking at the cameras, nobody seems to be slowing down around it, so hopefully it's been cleared away. On the lakeshore west of Woodbine, we had reports of a collision here, although it's not causing a big delay. Again, if you're heading towards the beaches area, which you really shouldn't be doing. Northbound 427 at the 401 MTO crews are working here, but they're over on the shoulder, so no live lanes are blocked. There is a broken water main in town that's affecting north and southbound John, which is close from Queen to Stephanie, just north of Queen. And southbound Avenue Road at Carmichael is blocked, that's south of Wilson, and that too is due to a broken water main. Muskoka Realtor Bob Clark is unveiling $60 million worth of luxury lakefront cottages this spring. For galleries and virtual tours, visit MyMuskokaCottages.com. Your next report is at 1:31, and now with the forecast, here is Jason Fraser.
A mix of sun and clouds across the GTA. We're also seeing some slightly breezy conditions. We're seeing the winds gust up to around 33 kilometers per hour. They are heading from the north, and that is allowing some cooler air to push across our region right now, even though the temperature is slightly above normal, where it should be right around this time of year. The average high normally is around somewhere between 8 and about 9 degrees. I think today will warm up by about another couple of degrees as the wind ends up shifting from the north to the south. Now, what's going to end up happening tonight and into tomorrow is we'll see clearing skies, and we'll see a high temperature tomorrow right around plus 13 degrees, and we'll see a high then also on Tuesday around 13 degrees, along with some sunny skies. And then Wednesday, we're going to have a warm front that's going to end up pushing through to our area. It's going to give us some rain showers, and temperatures will be even higher. We're talking about a high of 16 degrees. Right now in downtown Toronto, it's 9 degrees. The guaranteed high is 12 degrees.
Coming up at 1:30, the latest and startling new numbers out of the province. We've passed the 100 death mark, more than half of those coming right here in Toronto. Also learning about more than 24 doctors and nurses infected with COVID-19 right here in the city as well. 680's Michelle Mackey will have the latest.
680 News Time 123.
Why Tyndale?
Tyndale is a university that will inspire and challenge you to think differently, see in new ways, and prepare you for the future.
Classes are taught by professors who are involved in research and passionate about teaching.
The average class size is 22.
Professors help you discover your future opportunities, from graduate studies to career paths.
Tyndale is a university that prepares you to follow your dreams, become the person you are meant to be, and live out your faith.
Apply now at Tyndale.ca. That's Tyndale with a Y.ca. It keeps growing.
The 680 News Weather Guarantee jackpot
Is over a mind-blowing $20,000. Enter now for your chance to win at 680news.com/contest.
This portion of the news brought to you by your Toronto area Ford dealers. COVID-19 has had major impacts on fundraising abilities for organizations across Canada, as events have been canceled due to social distancing measures. And Second Harvest now asking for your help to keep food on the table for Canadians in need. Laurie Nichols, CEO of Second Harvest, says it's important to remember food banks and food services when we buy our own groceries.
We are all in this together, and we're all going to get through this together. And as long as we're all working as a team, I think we can keep the anxiety down and just know that their food is coming.
She said they lost over $2 million in 1 week due to impacts of COVID-19. To learn more about how you can help or donate, visit their website, secondharvest.ca. Yard waste collection will start again in Toronto tomorrow after being suspended last month in response to COVID-19. The city says the pickup will happen for 2 weeks until Friday, April 17th. That includes the Easter long weekend when many people could be cleaning up the yards. The city says it will decide whether or not to continue the service after the 2-week period. Coming up in 60 seconds, we'll have the business report.
680 News Time 125.
Ford is built to lend a hand when our communities need it most. That's why we're introducing 6 months of payment relief. We'll defer 3 payments and make 3 payments for peace of mind up to 6 months on most vehicles for qualified buyers. Because the one thing Canadians know about adversity is that it's better when we face it together. Learn more about your options at Ford.ca. Ford, built to lend a hand.
The coronavirus pandemic has created a dramatic new world. It's a really weird time with lots of uncertainty. People are at home, self-isolating and social distancing, and we'll talk about it all on Frequency Podcast Network's The Big Story. Join me, Jordan Heath Rollins, every day to discover how Canadians, like you, are coping. You'll get advice and strategies, companionship and comfort, all right here on The Big Story. Listen and subscribe for free with your podcast player and at frequencypodcastnetwork.com. Find your frequency.
680 News Time 126.
Come now for the 680 News Business Report.
I'm Chris McCusker. One of the running themes the last few weeks with all the portfolio managers I speak to is this. The coronavirus pandemic is nothing like the financial crisis. These are essentially uncharted waters which require a different solution when talking to clients. Sam Saif is the CEO at Purpose Investments.
The difference between this moment and, if I go back to the financial crisis, when people were really worried about their portfolios, their nest eggs. In this one, what we find is people are worried about their health, their families. Are they going to have a job tomorrow?
So you are approaching this differently?
To any advisor, any portfolio manager today, if it's talking to a customer and you call them in a sort of deft tone way, which is like, let's talk about rebalancing your portfolio and focusing on just your portfolio value, then you're actually ignoring what the fears that individuals are truly facing today. I mean, just the severity of how quickly this has happened and of course, the impact. We haven't seen the impact of job losses, economic hit in such a short order that it is impacting pretty much everybody's lives.
Is there any one thing that keeps you up at night?
Well, there's lots of things that keep me up at night right now, and I'd say the health of my staff, my family, of course, and everybody around me is very important. But I'd say the second thing is to ensure that the businesses and the economy that are around us are seeing the fluidity of movement. So, I will say I'm extremely happy with the movement of governments to be reactive in a very short period of time. The question is, announcements to execution is what I care deeply about.
Sam Saif is the CEO at Purpose Investments. And at the Business Center, I'm Chris McCusker.
You suffer from anxiety and depression during this pandemic.
and now your claim for disability is denied. My name is Aaron Waxman, and during this pandemic, we are open and working for our clients from our homes. If your disability claim is denied for any reason, call me at 416-661-4878 or pound LTD on your cell phone. And before you call, you should always remember that there are no bad questions. 416-661-4878 or pound LTD.
Weather forecast you can bank on, because if we're off by more than 3 degrees,
You can win our growing cash jackpot. The 680 News Weather Guarantee. Enter online at 680news.com.
At this difficult time, New Life Fertility Center wishes you good health and safety and thanks the government for helping lift the financial burden. It's been hard, but from this hardship will come new life. And when you start yours, consider partnering with New Life Fertility. Don't worry about the cost, because New Life also stands by you financially with the guaranteed lowest IVF cost, just $7,900, and the highest success rate. Terms and conditions apply. NewLifeFertility.com.
you'll always be the first to know.
Breaking news when it happens.
680 News.
And right now, you're the first to know the short-term forecast. Today, 12 degrees is the high. It's going to feel like 11 for most of the day. Partly cloudy, similar conditions tomorrow and Tuesday. So bust out the sunglasses to start the week. Then on Wednesday, the rain will start to return. Thursday, chances of showers, 8 degrees. 680 News Time, 1:30.
Number one for news in Toronto. This is 680 News.
Here are Cam Dorrit and Caitlin Lee.
Good afternoon. It's Sunday, April 5th.
Here's what's making news right now.
Another 25 people have succumbed to COVID-19 in Ontario, bringing the provincial death toll past 100. And now a number of Toronto doctors and nurses have been infected.
Canadians stuck on another coronavirus-stricken cruise ship are coming home today as the list of measures to stop the spread of the virus continues to grow.
The U.S. continues its relentless fight against COVID-19 as its case count surpasses 310,000. This as the world's infection count topped 1.2 million.
It's only the 5th time in the last century she's addressed her
That was
subjects on
250,000
TV.
last
This is
hour.
Queen Elizabeth speaking this afternoon.
It is Hall of Fame weekend for basketball. The 2020 class is unveiled, and the NBA might have something up their sleeve while their season's on hiatus. Sports at 45.
And coming up in business, the federal government has rolled out support for business operators to keep employees on the payroll.
Don't mention
We'll hear
the
from
Army
minister in
yet.
charge amid the criticism that the money isn't coming fast enough.
News Time, 1:31.
Time to traffic and weather together on the one. Christine Langos.
This report is brought to you by Rona. The only problem I'm seeing is on the lakeshore west of Woodbine. We have report of a collision here blocking lanes. Emergency crews on scene. So that's the case if you're heading towards the beaches area. But in general, everyone appears to be staying home again today. I'm not spotting any delays on the 401 across the GTA. Just be aware that northbound 427 at the 401, we do have MTO crews working on the shoulder in this area. It's not causing a big delay, though. In fact, it's not causing any delay whatsoever. All of the routes are quite light. And if you're traveling on the QEW, the Gardiner, the Lakeshore, everything is looking pretty good. Southbound Renford from Meteor to Carlingview is closed, and that's for bridge rehabilitation. As well, we still have north and southbound John from Queen to Stephanie closed because of a broken water main. And for crane hoisting, Wellesley still closed from Queens Park to Bay. At Rona, we always strive for your comfort and safety. As most of us spend more time at home, our website remains available 24/7 to deliver anything you may need. Rona.ca. Your next report is at 1:41. Now with the forecast, here is Jason Fraser.
Right now we're seeing
Y'all all
a
became
clouds
telecommuters
right
for
now
Earth
across
Day.
the greater Toronto area. Later on tonight, we'll see more clear skies. It'll be a pretty nice night for doing some stargazing, and we'll see a low temperature right around the freezing mark. Right now in downtown Toronto, it is about 9 degrees. Our overnight, or guaranteed high, I should say, is 12 degrees.
680 News Time, 1:32.
The numbers continue to rise. More than 4,000 cases of COVID-19 and over 100 deaths now reported in the province. Almost half of those right here in Toronto.
680's Michelle Mackey has the latest details, including news that a number of doctors and nurses have been infected in the city. She joins us live.
At least 25 more fatalities have been reported today in the province, including one more death at Pinecrest Nursing Home in Bobcaygeon. Pinecrest officials say the latest fatality
1/3.
brings the total to 23 deaths in the home. That's about a third of all residents. Pinecrest is one of more than 36 outbreaks that have been reported in nursing homes across the province. And with more than 400 new COVID-19 cases confirmed today, the provincial case count has now surpassed 4,000. About half of the cases are right here in the city of Toronto, where the latest figures show more than 24 doctors, nurses, and other healthcare workers have been infected. In response, Mayor John Tory is once again urging the public to stay home as the COVID-19 enforcement team goes out again today.
Yes, they have to go out. Please remember, 2 meters, 6 feet, a hockey stick, whichever one you want to remember. Please keep your distance from one another. We did well on Saturday. We really improved how we're doing as a city. Let's really show COVID-19 what we're made of.
Toronto Police says service members and City of Toronto bylaw officers continue to see non-compliance with government and public health orders. Tickets of $1,000 will be given to those who continue to make the wrong decisions. Reporting live, I'm Michelle Mackey.
680 News Time 1:34. Canada's top doctor Theresa Tam says it will still not be clear from the number of cases of COVID-19 over the next week in the provinces about just where the disease is going. She adds progress of the disease is different in each region.
What you're seeing right now in terms of numbers, again, is what happened several weeks ago. So that is absolutely important for everyone to know. And as I said before, you won't know that you've passed a certain peak until you're actually on the other side of it. And it's always very difficult to make any pronunciation on that. So it is a day-by-day look.
She says Ontario and Quebec may lag behind what is happening in BC and Alberta.
Mayor Cruz finally coming to an end for just under 100 Canadians today. The Coral Princess docked to Miami yesterday. Now many have the chance to come home. 680's Stuart McGinn has more, including word from the Prime Minister.
The Coral Princess cruise ship was stuck for several days off the coast of Florida with nowhere to go, but for the nearly 2,000 on board, finally a sigh of relief after they docked in Miami yesterday. Those fit to fly, including the 99 Canadians on board, are now going home. Back here in Canada, the Prime Minister made a call out for volunteers today with any specialized skills.
Health Canada is building an inventory of special network volunteers that provinces and territories can draw on to provide more support towards their workers.
The work would include tracing content and collecting data as it permits to the COVID-19 pandemic. The federal government's emergency relief benefit will also be open to applications as of Monday. Anyone who's lost their job is eligible for up to $2,000 a month, and the first payments will be made in 3 to 5 days. I'm Stuart McGinn.
680 News Time 1:36. Don't be alarmed if you see a large number of military personnel and vehicles on GTA roads tomorrow. In a release from the Canadian Armed Forces, they explain troops are moving to CFB Portland as part of the government's plan to fight COVID-19. Military personnel will reportedly form a task force there and will be on standby for any requests for assistance from the Canadian government.
This is 680 News. New York State continues to struggle, responsible for almost half of America's total cases of COVID-19. But Governor Andrew Cuomo had some room for optimism today. 680's Meg Luck joins us live. Meg.
Cam, the U.S.'s case count continues to soar, but experts say the apex is still to come. This morning, the U.S. Surgeon General Dr. Jerome Adams drew parallels between the upcoming fight against the virus and war.
This is going to be the hardest and the saddest week of most Americans' lives, quite frankly. This is going to be our Pearl Harbor moment, our 9/11 moment.
And a central component in that fight is scarce medical equipment. New York Governor Andrew Cuomo has been managing the country's epicenter with over 122,000 cases and pleading for more ventilators from the federal government. But Cuomo is not alone. Today, Louisiana Governor John Edwards warned that the state, now with over 12,000 cases and 400 deaths, could run out of ventilators by the end of the week. But President Donald Trump reassures that there is a plan.
Good plan to take from some areas, even though we have the 10 or almost the 10,000, we're also taking from areas that won't be as badly hit as today we think they will be.
Trump says they have a federal stockpile of 10,000 ventilators and they will deploy them strategically as needed. Reporting live, I'm Meg Black.
680 News Time 1:38. As Britain continues to see a rapid rise in COVID-19 cases across the country, Queen Elizabeth will broadcast a special message at 3 o'clock this afternoon.
The monarch will offer a deeply personal message, describing the moment as a time of disruption in the life of our country. A disruption that, she says, has brought grief to some, financial difficulties to many, and enormous changes to the daily lives of us all. She plans to praise the National Health Service for its work, laud those who volunteered to help out in a time of crisis, and encourage everyone to feel pride in how they rose to the situation. The Queen has given an address like this on only 3 other occasions, one being just before the funeral of Diana, Princess of Wales, in 1997. Charles de Ledesma, London.
More Canadians are following the news these days than they did before. Thanks to the COVID-19 outbreak. According to a new poll, 680's Monica Gould reports.
The latest developments on the pandemic sure have dominated the news, and Mario Canseco, president of Research Co., has found more than 3 million Canadians say they're reading, listening, or watching the news more often than they did.
Usually you have a level of 40 to 50% of Canadians who are sort of religiously following the news, and now that is up to 61%. So I think that definitely speaks to the way in which Canadians are trying to get more information about this.
The poll also finds Canadians have been missing family, friends, and travel the most. And for those who profess a religion, 25% say they're praying more regularly now than they did before. I'm Monica Gould.
In 30 seconds, we'll check the prices at the pump.
680 News Time 139. This is an important message from the City of Toronto. Stay home. During the COVID-19 pandemic, social distancing means staying home. Only go out for absolute essential needs, like food and medicine. We can't emphasize the importance of this enough. Stay 6 feet apart to prevent the spread of COVID-19. Avoid contact with others. Essential and critical services are being maintained. Please do your part. Learn more at toronto.ca/COVID-19.
Now, the 680 News gas price update. Enpro predicts the price of gas will stay the same at midnight, holding at 78.9 cents a liter at most GTA stations. Traffic and weather is next.
680 News Time 140.
Midday passengers, Debo Brown speaking here. I need you to return your seat to the upright position and definitely fasten your seatbelt. Because Manifest is back on City TV. City TV's #1 new drama from last year is back for another thrilling season and a ton of new questions. Who's really behind the disappearance of Flight 828? And whoa, what happened off screen at the end of last season's finale? So many questions. But the captain has informed me I'm out of time. Manifest, Mondays at 10, 9 Central on City TV.
Hey, why isn't your girlfriend drinking? I offered her one and she said no. She not feeling well?
She's fine. She's just pacing herself.
Ah, she can't keep up with you.
Man, look at the size of her. I've got a good 60 pounds on her. Of course she can't.
Studies show that when a man and woman drink the same amount of alcohol under the same conditions, a woman's blood alcohol level will be higher due to biological differences. Speak your mind. ChangeTheConversation.ca. Sponsored by Beer Canada.
680 News Time 141. Time for traffic and weather together on the ones. Here is Christine Lycos.
Thank you, Caitlin. This report is brought to you by CIBC. Watch out on the lakeshore west of Woodbine. We have collision blocking lanes both ways, but I'm spotting a huge delay through this area. In fact, most of the volume on the major routes is quite light. Northbound 427 at the 401. We have MTO crews working on the right shoulder, so just heads up for that. If you're traveling on the 401 across the GTA, it is wide open, and we're still trouble-free on the 404 Don Valley Parkway combination. Now on city streets, we have Crane Hoiting, which is closed east and westbound Wellesley between Queens Park and Bay. Southbound Avenue Road is closed south of Wilson at Carmichael because of a broken water main. And north and southbound John from Queen to Stephanie closed, and that's for water main repairs as well. Need mortgage advice? Connect with a CIBC mortgage advisor and get it done remotely together. Learn how at CIBC.com/mortgages. Your next report is at 1:51. Now with the forecast, here is Jason Fraser.
Partly cloudy right now across the GTA, and we're seeing about 9 degrees here in downtown Toronto. We have a light wind out of the north-northwest, and that is making things feel a little bit cooler around the region. Keep in mind, the advertised temperature right around this time of year is 9 degrees, but we're going to warm up by another couple of degrees over the next couple of hours. Overnight, we'll see temperatures dip down to around 0 in clear skies, and then tomorrow, we'll have a nice day across the region. Temperatures top out right around 13 degrees. The guaranteed high today is 12 degrees.
680 News Time 143. A Walmart security
Droplets
guard from
everywhere.
southern Quebec was fighting for his life Sunday morning after being struck and dragged by a driver who was allegedly enraged by social distancing policies aimed to curb the spread of COVID-19. Police in Sherbrooke, about 150 kilometers east of Montreal, said the incident happened around 5 o'clock Saturday when a suspect tried to enter the Walmart with his partner, only to be told just one person per vehicle was allowed inside at once. The suspect allegedly became frustrated after leaving the store, leading to an altercation in the parking lot. Police say the frustrated client ran directly into the employee with his vehicle, dragging him for several feet. The 35-year-old guard suffered a serious injury during the incident and remained in critical condition. The couple left the scene, but were later arrested at a nearby residence. 680 News Time, 144.
For 200 years we were slaves, until God himself took us out of Egypt with a mighty hand. This week, the 8-day festival of Passover begins. It marks the liberation of the Jewish nation from Egyptian bondage, a celebration of our miraculous freedom. Those 2 nights are observed with ritually laden family feasts. Most important, the mitzvah of eating matzah and taking part in relating the biblical narrative of our Exodus. As always, Chabad Lubavitch, along with our 3,000 affiliate branches around the world, are here to help with all your holiday needs. Whether you wish to sell your